Yahoo is facing scrutiny over reports that the company scanned millions of user emails in compliance with a federal government demand. Sources speaking on condition of anonymity told Reuters that Yahoo was fulfilling a classified request by the National Security Agency, or the FBI. RT correspondent Manny Rapolo joins me right now with the details on this. Manny, it seems like we're always talking about Yahoo, you and I. But tell me, what do we know about the agencies involved here and the motivation really behind Yahoo's decision to do this?
You know, what's interesting is that we know surprisingly little about the circumstances surrounding this case. Reuters broke this story on Tuesday when they revealed that Yahoo had complied with that request by the federal government. They're citing anonymous sources, as you mentioned, and all that the report suggests is that the request was made on behalf of either the National Security Agency, NSA, or the FBI. We don't know exactly which agency or what exactly these agencies were looking for. What we're learning is that in 2015, Yahoo built a tool for screening its webmail. That means all of its incoming, all of its email communications. We're talking about hundreds of millions of private emails with anyone that has an email address that ends with @yahoo.com. So presumably what they were looking for was keywords or phrases that were pertaining to a specific investigation. But again, presumably, this is one of those things that we don't know. Yahoo didn't make any comments in the immediate aftermath, but they did put out a statement that they've been passing along to reporters today, sort of denying, but not really denying, denying that what was in the report, the accuracy of the report. I'm going to read you that statement. It says, quote, "The article is misleading. We narrowly interpret every government request for user data to minimize disclosures. The mail scanning described in the article does not exist on our systems." Best, Joel Frank team. That email from Joel Frank, that's a public relations firm that's speaking on behalf of Yahoo. But what was pointed out here, actually specifically by Sam Biddle at The Intercept, is that it's a denial, but not really a denial. They say that it's misleading, the article, but not actually false. So if this turns out to be true, looking back on this, we do have a precedent on our hands, because this would effectively be the first time that a private internet company has agreed to disclose private communications on behalf of the government. That's something that hasn't happened before, and that's something that all the other big companies have denied, whether it be Google or Microsoft. They've said, we've never had a request of this type, and even if we had, we would have said no.
Right, they're leaving themselves a little bit of wiggle room there to be able to go either way in the future. And I saw an Intercept, the title of the Intercept article was "Delete Your Yahoo Account." I mean, it's just point blank. They're just telling you what to do right now. And it just really begs the question, has it really come to this at this point? I mean, Yahoo has to be dealing with a lot of backlash here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk smack about Yahoo or anybody that still has a Yahoo account, but this is the sort of backlash that we're seeing. If you still have a Yahoo account, you should get rid of it. We don't know the specifics about what type of data Yahoo ended up turning over to the federal government, but nevertheless, the story has left a bad taste. So what cybersecurity experts have said is that Yahoo was likely complying with Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which allows for the bulk collection of data on foreign targets. But it doesn't mean that that applies to anyone and everyone that has an @yahoo.com email address. So what we're seeing today is that backlash, not only from other media outlets, but politicians around the world, across Europe. You're seeing the Ireland's Data Protection Commissioner have a statement from them, which is the concerns that EU politicians are having, which is, they said, quote, "Any form of mass surveillance infringing on the fundamental privacy rights of EU citizens would be viewed as a matter of considerable concern." It's worth noting that earlier this year in February, the EU and the United States signed a deal that would allow data owned by American companies that pertains to personal data of EU citizens to be moved to the United States. So this, on top of that hack that happened with Yahoo last year, is putting even more scrutiny on that deal.